HDMI cables are now the most common form of AV connectivity, but they do have their limitations. HowToAV.tv finds out how far HDMI cable will go and how to take your HDMI signal further. HDMI cable is everywhere now and is seemingly the answer for connecting pretty much every standard AV source to every standard screen, television or projector. The answer to everything, right? Unfortunately not, as HDMI has limitations in its transmission distances. If you search the web or look on the shelf of your high street retailer, you're going to find a seemingly limitless choice of HDMI cables measuring 1, 2, 3 or 5 metres. Search a little harder and you'll also find 10 metre HDMI cables. These are all fine for short distance point-to-point device connection. If you're feeling brave, and we really wouldn't recommend this, 20, even 30 metre HDMI cables are available. But do beware, you're then pushing the limits of HDMI cable length capabilities, and you're in danger of experiencing interference to the picture. So, as we look to send our AV signals much greater distances, room to room, multi-zone or digital signage systems for example, we hit an absolute limit of the capabilities of a direct HDMI cable. So what are our options to send our HDMI signal even further? If you're looking at transmission distances of around 30 metres, and if you've wisely avoided the temptation of a 30 metre HDMI cable, then a simple HDMI Equaliser, such as this, is a low-cost, effective solution. A HDMI Equaliser effectively re-equalises the HDMI signal on a long cable run. So, we will connect two 15 metre HDMI cables with the Equaliser, resyncing the signal halfway along the total 30 metre transmission distance. The next option for extending your HDMI signal would be a repeater or a distribution amplifier, such as this one. A distribution amplifier will also usually function as a splitter, allowing the HDMI signal to be both extended to longer distances and split to supply the same HDMI signal to a number of separate displays. So, using this 1-in 8-out device as an example, we can connect our source device, such as a Blu-ray player, using a 15 metre HDMI cable to the input of the distribution amplifier, and then connect the outputs of our distribution amplifier with additional 15 metre HDMI cables to provide up to 8 high-quality HDMI cable runs of 30 metres. If you're looking for even longer HDMI transmission distances, perhaps for room-to-room applications or where in-wall cable runs increase the distance from device to device, this is where we move on to the really clever stuff, when we start to send our HDMI signal over this, which you'll probably recognise as standard Ethernet cable. Using HDMI Over Cat cable extender kits, such as this, we have a transmitter at the source, the Blu-ray player for instance, and then we have a receiver at the display end of the system, so your screen or your TV. These extended kits convert your HDMI signal and send uncompressed HD video and audio over standard category 5E, 6 or 7 cable, the same as your internet or network cable, and then converts the signal back to HDMI at the receiver to connect to the screen or the television. Using HDMI Over Cat transmitter kits, we can achieve transmission lengths of up to and beyond 100 metres. There is also an additional option now available in the AV industry known as HD-Base-T, a transmission technology similar to HDMI Over Cat cable systems in that you can transmit your HDMI video and audio over standard Ethernet cable. But HD-Base-T takes this concept quite a few steps further, using its 5-play technology, which not only transmits HD video and audio, but also sends 100 Base-T Ethernet, power over cable and control signals such as IR and RS-232, all at the same time and all down the same single Cat5e 6 or 7 cable. So there's a whole host of options to take your HDMI cable from here all the way to the other end of the building. With plenty more information on HDMI, HD-Base-T and everything worth knowing on AV. Hit the subscribe button on the HowToAV.tv YouTube channel to make sure you don't miss out on all of the latest how-to videos as they go live. And if you've got a question that the HowToAV team can help with, please let us know in the comments below. I'll see you next time on HowToAV.tv.